Today's video is special because I'm going to show you exactly how you can use Python and a package called Tweepy to extract data out of Twitter. Once we extract that data out of Twitter, we are going to use the tool of my choice, CRM Analytics, to perform some analysis. The first thing you need to do to get tweets from Twitter is to sign up for a developer account. If you already have a Twitter account, you can simply sign in. But if you don't have a Twitter account, you would have to sign up for a Twitter account in order to get access to your developer account. Once that is done, Twitter will ask you to create a project. As part of the project, you will have to provide a description and you will also have to provide some use case. In my case, I selected academic research as my use case. Next, Twitter will ask you to create an app. Again, as part of the app, you will want to enter a name for your app and then hit complete. After you hit complete, you will get a set of keys. Do not exit. You need these keys. So make sure that you copy and paste these keys into a notepad. That way you can access these keys to make your first call to Twitter API so that you can scrape tweets to perform your data analysis. Now what I have done is there's a nice documentation by Twitter called step-by-step guide to making your first request to the new Twitter API. It describes some of the things, right? So how do you sign up for access, creating a project, connecting an app, and it's really a very straightforward process. So I'll put this in the description below. All you need is step 1 and step 2. Okay, now let's dive into Python code to see how we can get data into our Python so that we can perform our data analysis in the tool of my choice, CRM Analytics. I am assuming that you have Python installed on your laptop because we do need Python to run these set of commands to get tweets from Twitter. I'm going to be using this package called Tweepy or Tweepy to get access to tweets from Twitter. The first thing that you need to do is install this package. I have already installed this package, but I want to show you how you can install it. Simply copy and paste this. Copy, go here, let's click new, and then we can run this, and as you can see, it's running. Requirement is already satisfied because I have already installed this package. So let's talk about the use case, right? We've connected to Tweepy. What I want to do is I want to get tweets that contain BTC or Bitcoin. I want to understand the sentiment around Bitcoin, and I also want to see number of tweets made for Bitcoin. So very simply, what I'm going to do is say search underscore query equal to BTC. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to use the API from the documentation. So if I go here, remember I have the basic access, basic level for Twitter. There are 3 levels of access. There is essentials, elevated, and academic. I have the basic access or the essential access. So I have to use the API v2 reference. If I go here to client, I have several types of API requests that I can make. So I can look at replies, likes, manage tweets, retweets, and so on. So what I want is, I want to see, let's see, I want to see tweet counts. And I want to see recent tweets. When I do recent tweets, what it does is it returns count of tweets from the last 7 days, and it also gives me the parameter. So I'm going to copy this and paste it in my code. Okay, so let's make a variable equal to query equal to search underscore query. Okay, so I've run this query and this is my response. Now of course this response is not readable. I want this information to be structured. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to store this information. So let's create a variable called data equal to tweets dot data, and what this is going to do is it's just going to take this information. We essentially only have 3 columns here, right? We have end, we have start, and we have tweet count, and that is what I want to be stored in this particular variable. So let's run this, hit run, and now if I run data, hit run, I get this. Now again, I've removed all the information that I did not want, but I want it structured. I want it in a data frame that can be readable. So I'm going to do df equal to pd dot data frame. I'm going to enter data, and then I simply need to enter the columns, right? So the columns that we have are, let's see, end, start and count. So end, comma, start, comma, count, and then let's run this. And now if I hit df, oops, I get, hold on, should be tweet count. And let's run this now. Okay, so now that we have this, you can see we have end, we have start, and we have tweet count. The next thing that we want to do is we want this data into a CSV file so that we can bring it into CRM Analytics and we can perform some analysis. So I'm going to do df dot to underscore CSV, let's call it tweets underscore count underscore BTC dot CSV, and run this. Awesome. So now the output is an CSV file that I can use to perform my analysis. Alright, so we also need some information to do sentiment analysis, and for that I'm going to use this particular query or API client.search underscore recent underscore tweets. I want to keep this video short, so I am going to write this code in Python, but you will have access to this Python code. I'm going to paste the link to my GitHub. That way you can simply copy and paste this code into your Python environment and get working. By the way, I'm also going to upload the dashboard as well as the data set. So if you only want to use data sets and do your analysis, feel free to do that. And again, that will be part of the GitHub repository. All right, so here are the files. This is the tweet sentiment analysis. As you can see, I have the IDs and text here, and this is my tweets count BTC. I have the ID for the file, the end date, the start date, and the tweet count. We only have 100 records or so for sentiment analysis, and that's the system limitation for the API that I just used. So I don't believe we have enough data to run sentiment analysis. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to run analysis on tweet count. We can get some important information such as total number of tweets in the last 7 days or so for Bitcoin. We can also look at the trends. Are people tweeting more about Bitcoin in the last 7 days? How is it trending? Yeah, so let's dive in. All right, so as you know, the first step to do any analysis in CRM Analytics is to bring in the data set, which is super easy. So click on dataset CSV file. I'm going to drag and drop the file here. Click next. This is fine. Next, let's see if it identified. Yep, it's a date, and it is a measure. Let's do upload file. All right, so the data set has finished uploading and I am now exploring the data set. So we have count of rows, but I'm really interested in a couple of things. I want to see how many tweets were made in the last 7 days with respect to Bitcoin, and I also want to see if there is any trend, if there's any pattern. So let's go to some tweet count, and this is amazing, right? I get 2.4 million tweets in the last 7 days containing BTC. Okay, I can now split this by start, year, month and day. Let's do that. Let's change this to a vertical bar. This could be incomplete data, so let's ignore it for now, but I see some activity on 9th of May, and I'm curious to see what happened on 9th of May. So I've pulled up finance.yahoo.com to look at the historical prices, and as you can see, it opened at $34,000 on the 9th of May and dropped to $30,000. Again, my guess is because there was a significant drop of $4,000, people started to tweet about it. We don't know unless we analyze the actual text on the 9th of May to understand what happened. I hope you found this video helpful. It was not very heavy on CRM analytics, but I wanted to show you how easy it is to extract data out of Twitter. And of course, CRM analytics is an extremely powerful tool to do some analysis. If you like this video, please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, and hit subscribe to my channel. And I will see you next week.